That's a matchup actually you don't see very often at the moment. Jeanne D'Arc versus Ayyubid. Jeanne seems to have fallen off the side of a cliff, and Ayyubids are on the top of that cliff, flexing, looking powerful, until Daddy Microsoft comes in with a Nerf hammer, breaks their kneecaps. It's going to happen. But for now, Elyona may be in a good position going up against Team Elephant's Louis MT. I'm just kidding. No offense to Elyona, second best player in France. The first best player is actually, pretty damn good. It's hard to beat. No one can really beat him right now. But the issue, with this matchup is that Louis MT is the Jeanne D'Arc GOAT right now. I don't feel like there's... Maybe Marine Lord is the only other player I'd say is potentially better than him. This guy is an absolute beast. So thank you very much for the resub, Nomad. Welcome back to Swarm. So curious to see what he's going to be able to do and what his strategy is going to be. Because at the moment, I feel like practically all Jeanne pickers are going 2TC. And this is a matchup that I think plays very much that way. The issue is if you don't go 2TC, your opponent's just going to fast castle anyway. You can't dent them. You can't kill them early. And if you scale into knights, you're setting yourself up for failure due to camel lances and even as early as the desert raiders, right? You're making your life incredibly hard. The upside, at least, is if you can somehow survive the onslaught, Ayyubids are pretty much a zombie farm, to put it in Minecraft terms, right? The goodies just keep on coming to you. And they tend to be very valuable. If you were to take all the civs in the game and calculate the value of the units that they build in their comp, Ayyubids would probably be in the top 4, right? They build Ghoulems, which are the most expensive types of men-at-arms outside of Order of the Dragon. They build Camel Lancers that are insanely expensive as well. And then they sometimes happen to build Siege in the Field, which adds quite a pretty penny also. The only cheap piece of crap in their comp is their backline of archers. Funnily enough, this civ tends to build archers in 80 to 90% of their games compared to crossbows. It's very rare to see crossbow mass coming in, unless there is a justifiable reason. Looks like we are going to be opening up the Desert Raider here. Makes a lot of sense. I'm expecting range form Joan coming out from Louis. Multiple reasons behind that, actually. One, the women-at-arms will just get kited and eventually killed. Two, against the Desert Raiders, actually, the range form is pretty good compared to the melee form because the melee form has so much of its damage offset by the 5 armor of the Desert Raider. And then, if you know this game's going to scale towards Castle Age, you get level 3 Joan. With Divine Arrow, you can easily start sniping out Siege. You get into the late game against Ayyubids, a civ that has access to Culverins and some agency over Siege. All of a sudden, you have this one snipe type unit in the marksman form. So, pretty kind of brain dead choice. If you don't feel like you can fight early and get level 3 off of feudal play, range form always sings better. And the reality is in this matchup, you're not going to get a feudal age experience out of the Ayyubids long enough to ever justify the melee form. Jeanne Arb still being slept on? Definitely not. The problem with Jeanne's Jeanne's Arbitraire is you can't really rush into them. You have to get your consecrations online. So usually you don't see Arbitraire mass until Imperial Age. That's when it really kicks up because you're going to go Guildhall. Like, I actually think Jeanne's going to go Guildhall more often than French are going to go Guildhall. The reason is that you get way too much bang for buck out of scaling into Arbitraire with Guildhall late game. Like, we've watched matchups where a Jeanne player can black access gold to access rather, for 30 minutes. Clearly the alcohol's going to my brain already. And still somehow afford Arbitraire. That's how insanely efficient this civ can be, bulking Arbitraire in late game. Elyona, this should just be for the arrow slits. Don't expect to see a second TC. He's not losing his mind, and we won't be losing our hair. Actually, we will, because we're watching more oppressive Ayyubids. This is an insane spawn, by the way. Not even range zone can do damage here. The wall plus the outpost, you can maybe snipe the berries. That's the only negative I might give, is maybe actually Elyona could have placed an outpost here. The reason they didn't is once these berries are cleared, there's going to be no one to garrison that outpost. I do, however, deeply hate with a passion the fact that they've eaten so many berries already. If this is not Growth Wing, it makes sense, but if this is Growth Wing, they've just sacrificed an extra 600 food, which I will always be against. It makes you so condensed and efficient. And even though you hit your castle timing, you can ride out with Lancers. At the end of the day, you are still up against a civ that's going to have knights patrolling the mid-map. So range form does come out. And you see the damage she already does, right? Oh, wow, that was sick. Elyona, complete misclip there. A little bit of panic set in, so a little bit early on the Divine Arrow. I don't think you need to go for it straight away like that, but pays off, right? You've already removed the one threat to you on the map. You've got double Knight plus Joan. Stone isn't really being gathered in mass. Wait, what? What was this play? Did they change gear? I'm really confused by this. I mean, they're going ball, but they gathered stone, only 15. Dude, this is so big brain. It's a bait. I actually think it's a bait. So they went onto the stone for Louis, to make it look like Louis going to TC. Alyona scouted it. Probably feels they're very safe. And now what? Louis just plays out aggressively? It must be. He's going Deers plus the ball. Is this an all-in and feudal? That is so wild. I would not have expected that out of the Jeanne D'Arc faction here up against camels. Because this should be camels, right? I'm wondering, maybe the thought process is like, if you know that your opponent's going all in, you probably just like mass camels and something like that. Is there a world in which Alyona goes Gulems is what I'm wondering. Like, I'm trying to get in the brain of Louis and figure out what exactly the thought process was here. Because if you're scaling Knights and your opponent scales Gulems, that's a GG. You win that, right? That's a great fight. But if your opponent's going Camel Lancers, you're going Knights, it's bad anyway. It might be that Alyona takes a more chill approach and goes like double Mosque or something to rush relics. And Louis is now trying to catch that greed by going greedy himself. This is a funky build. Growth Wing now on the way. Outpost is already up, so it shouldn't be much of a dive. Joan is on her way, but pretty lagging behind, so it will take a while to arrive. How much food are we talking about here right now? Alyona can't be looking that great, right? 15 sheep. Okay, more than enough. Yeah, Louis got a terrible haul. He's got 1 sheep left over. It means he had no choice but to go deer and bull. Guys, I'm starting to think that this wasn't a bait and that he wanted to go 2TC, but he got forced off of it. I think Louis just got a really bad sheep haul, and his hand got forced. Wall's already up. I mean, there's no way you're going to all in your opponent here. Even with the fast castle idea, like I'm kind of struggling to figure out what the value point is, other than relics. Like, they could potentially rush relics here. Tech up timings are going to be close to mirrored, right? If you rush the guild hall. But 6 villages isn't a rush. Stable's already being dropped, so Alyona is definitely going to be going into the camels. I mean, we know he's going fast castle now. That's not in debate here, Shackle. The thing that's in debate is, was it the original intent? Or was this a pivot from Louis because they had no food access? Because, like, this bait seems a bit weird. I don't know if Alyona was here at the right time. Like, even if you think this is a good bait, if you don't know for sure you're going to stop that second Desert Raider. And if that second Desert Raider scouts the stone and sees you have stopped gathering, the gist is up, right? And remember, Desert Raiders have decent vision, right? Camels have better vision than standard cav. So there's a good probability that he would have been able to scout that. Oh, Guild Hall on the way anyway. Growth Wing complete means we have got the 8 villager advantage now for Alyona. Add in the fact they've got Golden Age 1, all of a sudden it's a pretty lofty lead. That's why Louis also has to be out on the board and the deer with survival techniques just to compete with those gathering rates. Everyone knows camels have great eyes. If that's true, why are Google creating an automated car and not an automated camel? Checkmate. Right, so tech up complete. Louis with the walls coming up. Is it just arbitrary? It is. Okay. You know, I was a little bit skeptical because we don't really see arbitrary this early. This is kind of wild. It's such an early point in the game. And they're already much more cost efficient, right? You can already see that the consecrations come in. That's minus 20 food cost per produced. If you do happen to get into the improved consecration, you're also going to save 10 gold per arbitrary. It's pretty lofty savings, actually. 30 resources per, right? So every 4th arbitrary is free. Alyona did do what we expected. They went for the double dervish pump straight away. They did produce a few camel answers, but they didn't double down on this. Meantime, Knights are going to have to shift away. Veterancy has come through for them. Now, this is intriguing. If Alyona trickles these troopers into a trap, say that 10 times, a group of arbitrary could easily run them down. But it's very difficult against 210 HP. Love that right there. Louis intentionally blocking with the scout because the scout will heal over time. The Knights, however, do not have chivalry. Alyona about to ride a little bit blind in. Yeah. Okay, straight away reacts. Divine Arrow does come out, but it barely feels worth it at this stage. This game is weird. Very weird. But I love it. There's no way it's fast Imperial, because Louis MT isn't under the influence of anything, I'm pretty sure. It's going to take a long time. He's finally playing for the Monastery, but I'm a little bit surprised he did this sooner. I guess it's the fact you need someone to react to the Arbitrary. Outpost. In trouble, though. Elyona. This is the other issue. If you don't kill off those early Desert Raiders, a lot of torch damage gets added in here. Arbitrary going to try to snipe from the low ground villages. Oh, big mistake made there. One already going down. That's going to be 4 more villages flopping dead. So great exchange for Elyona. Now over 10 villages ahead of Louis MT. Wow, this is wild. I mean, the Arbitrary are getting some value, but nothing insane here. He doesn't even get the final shots off on that injured Camel Lancer. Does get the other one, but that was a Desert Raider. So a lot of Lancers still in the field. Louis is just trying to bulk Arbitrary, but he's going to have to strike soon, folks. He's down by 14 villages. And this is looking like a fairly easy 3 to 4 relic game for Elyona. Great interception on the initial Dervish coming out from Louis. But 1 relic is already home. The right side one feels like it's for free. You can maybe protect the left side relics. Oh my god. How does he know these things? So here's the thing that kind of jaw drops me, right? Like, Elyona could have just easily went for the safe relic and returned it. But Louis is banking on the fact that Elyona is going to try to pull the dangerous relics away from him, and it's paying off. So Monk's now coming out himself. That is a Monk-S moment right there. More Camel Lancers arriving over here. The first Monk, he's genuinely going to try to... No, this is agreed too far. I can't believe that. Yeah, Louis just noticed he made a whoopsie. He's going to have to go for a different relic. Unfortunately, someone forgot to gate. No. Are you kidding me? Look at the map spawn. He has to go all the way to Elyona's side and come back because he hasn't built a gate. Oh, no. Can he at least get the right side one is what I'm wondering here. Where is the second Monk at this point? It feels like Louis is just kind of outplaying himself. And that's not to take anything away from Elyona. He's doing fantastic. But Louis, to a certain degree, is also in his own brain, right? Well, that sounds kind of obvious, but he's getting in his own head. From that weird bait on the outpost to the Monk playing to the center of the map, it's just a little bit wild for my liking. I mean, I respect Louis' crazy game style as much as the next person, but Elyona's more structured, orderly approach to the Ayyubids is paying off in dividends. These knights starting to reach a point where they can't really do much more. Do at least idle out the berry gathering Ayyubid villagers in the front, but they'll be coming back. In the meantime, walls are now being attacked, which means Louis has to keep dancing around his own base with his Arbitrary. Difficult to do when you've got such a slow-moving unit. The good news, at least, is like actually having enough Arbitrary can dent both Camel Lancer and Archer alike because of Pavis, right? Pavis makes these archers tick. Even with Veterancy, they go from doing 9 damage down to doing just 4 damage. Crazy to think, you know, like, I can't remember, was Pavis ever 6 range armor? I don't think it was. Gambeson's was the thing that got nerfed, right? Because Gambeson's, I remember that used to be even more ridiculous. That used to be 6 armor. I can't believe that was ever 6 armor. You know, someone put up a very interesting thread the other day highlighting this kind of stuff, right? It's kind of wild to think how far balances come. Like, there was once upon a time where we thought that Regnit's relics giving 300 gold each per minute was good. Was a good idea. Break on the wall, well, you're not. Thinks fighting is a good idea here. You might be right. Louis trying to prep a Mangonel. He's so good at this. Using Siege Workshops with Consecration is huge. Saves you so much resources. Nice snipe out. Archers are about to be in the muck of it, though. Second TC they got from Louis, as anticipated here, just on a heavy lay. And now all of a sudden, Elyona comes a little bit too deep. Louis should be able to get sharp, but a bit too slow. So missed opportunity there to wall up the center of the formation. Elyona is still heavily ahead. I don't think they saw the TC. It was on the very edge of range, so we might not be seeing a second TC out of Elyona anytime soon. That's a big problem. They may have a 4 relic advantage, but now the value in that is kind of stunted, right? Like, Louis has a window 5 to 6 minutes from now where he can be eco ahead. Especially when you consider the savings along the line, right? Free TC now. Holy crap. Okay, I'm intrigued. This is very greedy for someone that's locked in the corner. He has got double berries. a lot left on the deer. Ball's already gone. And there's no flank resource on the left side to gather from, right? All the food is central. So this is very risky. Oh, yeah. The burn res used to be able to get a lot. What else was it? Mongols had a bunch of things. Do you guys remember like the Scout Rush build? Obviously, the Mongol TC is the big one in our brains. Do you guys remember when the Mongol Scout Rush used to be a thing? I still remember casting that. That was one of the first casts on the channel. That stuff was nuts. That was back when one of the most popular Hearthstone players used to play regularly. I've forgotten his name. Xiao. You guys remember Xiao? He was the most experienced Mongol player in the first 3 months of release. Because he only played Mongols. Animation canceling God. No, let's not remember that. Burn through on the wall. Louis did get level 3. Now this is cool because actually you can snipe down the siege. You hit for 100 damage. You almost one-hit these spring-ons. That's a bit of damage being done initially here. Some patience being shown. Elyona now going for that third TC. Oh no. And there's too many villagers out here. He's got 12 out on the trip TC. So a few of them are going to be tripped over permanently. Army shifting up this way. Now, the interesting thing is Elyona could just boldly build a ram right now to burn this down. Nice snipe down in the meantime. So Springwood has been removed. Elyona, that was a mistake. A very big one as well. Not respecting Joan from behind. They now do not have an answer to the Mangonel. Not one that can easily reach anyway. Camel Lance is being mirrored by the Arbitrier. Walls have gone up all around. So there's only one way in and one way out. Dive comes in on top of the Mango. But I think it's going to do enough damage still. So good fight coming out. Healing is also going to help keep Louis' troops alive. Divine Restoration guarantee it. It's now just a group of Camel Lancers that need to be mopped up. And Elyona, some serious mismacroing going on here. Way too much gold being held onto. I think they should actually be into siege pretty hard. I'm actually impressed that Louis is still in this. I mean, this is grim, right? Like, this is incredibly grim. 36 eco to 65 does not look good. But at the same time, Elyona's not gathering any stone. So they're going all in. So if Louis can somehow, by some miracle, survive this game could quickly become his. It is a serious uphill battle, though. Right? 2 sacred sites at most points in the game, relics as well. Love that, though. Because Louis didn't get level 3 Joan before age 3, this is something I really need to warn you guys about. You've been watching way too many games where Jean's champions, the better men-at-arms, pop out and GG the game. If your opponent is castle age before you get level 3, the choice is brain dead simple. You do not go for Jean's champions. You go for Jean's riders. Jean's riders will scale better because they can do things on the map, right? They can actually provide flank. They can attack elsewhere. They're great in this game as well because your opponent has archers, crossbows, but even in games where your opponent isn't necessarily massing those units, compared to a Jones champion, it's just a men-at-arms. It's 3 men-at-arms every X minutes, right? In an age where your opponent's going to have knights and crossbows and more men-at-arms, it doesn't really move the needle compared to a flexible unit with mobility. Flank raid coming in. Louis, has he got the army in position? He can move quick enough here. I'm not sure if the army is that formidable, though. Is he going to try to get cheeky on the high ground? I think Louis maybe has some micro issues going on. No, okay, he is intending this. He was waiting for the riders. Walls are going up. Burn through wasn't quick, right? This is a negative of going for camels over golems. You just have less torch power. So walls would be going up just in time. Oh, he didn't even complete the wall, though. Uh-oh. Double mango. They are stacking. Louis doesn't have much of a front line, though. Nice shot to the backside. A few crossbows go down. Joan's rider's not going to last long, though. And it means Joan herself is going to have to tank, but she just doesn't have the capability to do so. Arbitrary stand their ground. Mangoes are at least keeping the range formation away. And by God, once again, he has done it. The Arbitrary will hold. Oh, this is getting unbelievable. I mean, there's no way Elyona stays on 1 TC now. They have to go up to 2 or 3 TCs. This is getting out of control. This feels like you're fighting the English right now, right? Like you're diving this attack speed aura. But there is no attack speed aura, right? There's no crossbow stirrups because this was Guildhall. There's no inspiration, voucher inspiration because this is level 3 zone. This is just Elyona going the hard way about it. And it scares me because look at what's been happening. That's 4,000 food waiting to be pulled by Louis. If they start gathering gold, a red palace drop is very doable here. Straight, defend again. Archers being attacked by the mango. Oh my god, no, he clicked on the mango! Well, you're gonna kill it, but surely it comes at a cost here. Horsemen are laid in though, that's a bigger problem. Spearing defenses from Louis to try and hold his own base. Another mango does pop out just in the nick of time, so should be enough to push Elyona back beyond the breach. My concern though is the horseman mass. Numbers are building and Arbitrary alone aren't going to be able to hold this back. Louis needs to consider men-at-arms. Possibly horsemen of their own, actually. I think a horseman of their own might be the best call here. And Louis, for the love of God, needs to pull out this food. He's totally forgotten about it. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, you've got enough for a tech up. Now Elyona is indeed going for that second TC. Only a second, though, which means the longer this game goes, the smaller this eco lead Elyona gets. This is a ridiculous comeback. Horsemen against camels? No, horsemen against other horsemen and archer crossbows. The camels are pretty much gone. If you're running into your enemy building camels and you have horsemen arbitraire, you're fine. Because arbitraire will just mop up the camels. It's a little bit more annoying than the micro, but outcome is still good. And we have indeed got companion equipment on the way. It looks like Joan needs to be a bit more bulky. He's 100% forgotten about the Guildhall. At first, I thought he was stockpiling gold for the pullout, but now it's just, I can't believe this. If they had that food, they'd actually be back in this. But now, someone's back with a fury. Nice snipe coming in from Joan. Decent damage being done. Walls are going to break, though, and that is a lot of horsemen. Gambeson's is at least there, but this is not meant to be a real front line. The horseman bonus damage offsets any type of melee defense you have. Spread out the lines right now. Joan needs to try and keep it alive, but it's going to be a flood through. Decent hit from the mangoes, but just too many cav units around the back. Mango will at least get one more shot out, but I think that's it. I think it's over. Louis, I can't believe this. He just noticed it. We a Disney show now because we're about to run a downtake of what if. What if Louis had pulled that out 2 minutes earlier? What if he'd been rushing a red palace on the right side here? Or building spearmen plus extra arbitraire? But now the biggest what if of all. Meet your real Captain America. Well, Captain Britain. Well, Captain French. Sorry, I'm going through all the Marvel forms. Captain de Francais. Jeanne D'Arc is in. The problem, however, is it is the ranged form, which means horsemen alone can cook your goose. I mean, this is done. Red Palace is on the way. I just don't really know what it's meant to do in a position like that. Like, here's the problem, Louis. You are securing a lot more food. I will give you that. However, the things you are spending your food on right now are dying in mass. And there's a nice little path around the right side that middle fingers your landmark. Yeah, this is done. What a crazy game. I mean, there's just too many horsemen here. By some miracle, the villagers shift by, but feels all for naught, right? Like, 0 food income at this stage of the game. This is the last of your army. If you can't hold off that, it's all over. And unfortunately, with the Rams now coming in as well, static defenses simply aren't going to cut it. He'll at least have an Arbisin placement in the primary TC, the secondary TC, and the third Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. There's no way. There's no possible way. There's no probable way? It's unlikely? I don't think it is. Louis alive. Elyona now finds himself in a tricky predicament. Imp versus Castle. Tech up has not been triggered. Advancement Wing will get them there quick, but this is the stage in the game that everyone fears. Jeanne D'Arc, Imp Age, a guild hall, and discounts on Arbitrier. Level 4 Jeanne D'Arc at that, with Valorous Inspiration. It does not get more scary than this. This is peak Jeanne form. Oh my god. Yona, he's now going north side again. Now this is interesting. Louis has done something insanely risky. He's gone down the center and I'm really not sure why. I think he needed to calm himself a little bit, calm down a bit, maybe get a stone wall up because this is going to come in too fast. Hesitation setting in a little bit for Yona. Louis now flooding into the center of the enemy base. But the backstab is coming in. The problem is that Arbisin placement can kill you quite quick. He needs to slow down. He needs to go for rams. Other side of this, there's no slowdown. Louis MT birthing a cannon and having level 4 Jeanne starts to blitz the base. Now Yona's going to have to react to this. He can't just ignore it. Raid force is what? 50 deep? Defensive army's being built up though. We have not got Arbitrary in elite form yet. Spearmen get priority. This is wild. Ram shuffling in. I mean, the spears can just take that down ASAP and force the fight, right? Louis says no. He says lose the arm, save the body. Oh, Louis MT bearing arms down the center here. Rams in on the TC, so it looks like that's going to be a loss of the third. But Louis, not too far behind, really, when you consider the work it kills in this game. To be this close to equal is baffling. More production just being carved down, right? This is very important. It's going to slow down Elyone's ability to reboom an army if he falls, if he falters. Arbitrary with the Bavis drawing a lot of fire now. And I think he's actually pushed him back again. Those are elite spearmen, even against archers that are meant to counter them. The Arbaliston placement and the Arbitrier proving too strong. Yona now being dented at home as well. Cannon hitting onto the main TC. Jeanne D'Arc just sniping out whatever comes their way. And Yona's army not looking that impressive right now. Farm count at 32. That doesn't feel like a full late game economy to me, especially for a person who is still stuck in castle. Last Arbitrary should be getting cleared up soon, but the damage that has been done by this push, it's going to be a fallback. I can't believe what this Red Palace done. This Red Palace looked like a meme. It looked like it was worthless, but guys, here's the thing. This Red Palace secured 5,000 food, I believe it was. I think it was 2 6 stacks and 1 8 stack. 5,000 food for a Civ that it can be food efficient in the late game due to consecrations. This kept Louis alive. Joan, however, will not be so lucky. Louis, I don't know what that micro was. Questionable. We'll go with questionable. Okay. He's like, that's fine. Joan's OP. I need 2 minutes without her. A little bit odd. You know what? Odd works. He's proven that already. You know, I doubted the power of the trip TC Arbisin placements. I really shouldn't have. There's a reason, if you guys remember, just last year we had players like Mr. literally rushing Imperial Age's French and then dropping TCs everywhere because they're that strong. Louis just reminded us why. What an incredible game. After 30 minutes, they're now equal on military. Eco is still a mile apart, sure, but I think being an age ahead makes up for it. That's why Elyon is looking to fix that. Advancement Wing now on the way. It's not exactly a strong play, but really is your only play with your economy in the state it's in. I cannot believe this game. The Francais men-at-arms now coming. So this is maximizing value in elite army tactics, right? They should be rushing that tech. In the meantime, oh my god, Alyona. Just getting caught on the gold. Louis now coming in with the keep drop to secure him the late game. I mean, 8k gold will do it with this Civ. Guildhall already sitting on 1,000 gold as well. Stonewall's going up the western flank. Unfortunate for Elyona, as he actually roamed out here with his horsemen. In fairness, he has another reason to be out here, though, right? The gold also is a blocker to a Sacred Site win condition. It means that Elyona doesn't have to play this too fast. That being said, I feel like you need to play this fast. You'd think that Ayubids wouldn't be too bad with Mamluk's bravery and the potential for Adabegs in the hyper late game, but I actually favor Joan here. The Valorous Inspiration with Crossbow Stirrups and Pavis, it makes Arbitrary absurd. And the fact they never really run out of gold, it's a big asterisk next to you can win this in the late game. And the asterisk is as long as Louis' eco isn't intact. Keep dropping the center now. Oh, a little bit too close from Louis, though. So Elyona should see this. Yeah, that is going to be a fail keep. Army's drawing some attention, though. Elyona's not seriously going to commit to the army instead, right? No, that would be suicide. No, Elyona's a smart cookie. Here we go. Horsemen arriving. The most ambitious keep I think I've seen in a while. Louis, I don't know what he was thinking with this. I think he was thinking that he wasn't too close to the buildings. Unfortunately, just half a tile difference and he wouldn't have been seen here. That is a doubt keep right there. Definitely not going to be a keeper in this game. I say that. Louis refuses to cancel it. And Joan's now here. Are you actually kidding me? There's no way. He's breaking this with men-at-arms. Those aren't even elite men-at-arms. Oh my god. Valorous Inspiration gets activated. Attack speed, Juicer coming in. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. Like, this is baffling. The fact that he's even holding in this area right now, more villages being pulled now. Hand cannoneers have now been added in by Elyona. Elite upgrades are finally there. These men-at-arms are a bit more chunky, but no elite army tactics means once again, it is going to be a doubtful keep here. And he finally gives up and cancels it. Anatan right now just raiding through. He's like, I would have got that keep up. I would have got that one in his face. How's it going, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. You got to be doing better than Elyona right now. This is a head scratcher. This is the type of game where, you know, in those animes or those kind of weird TV shows where a guy screams and your clothes fall off, but your hair like all comes out. That's what's happening right now. Like right now, Elyona's getting full Professor Xavier, but I don't think he's getting the superpowers that go with it. He's up by 40 eco in a game that should have been over 10 to 15 minutes ago. And yet still, because it should have been over 10 or 20 minutes ago, the fact he's got a 40 eco lead doesn't impress me. Scenario is now on the way, and I believe Louis is a little bit weak because we're in the middle of a farm transition. So 18 set up. This is an edge if Elyona senses it. He needs to push. Right? I am your midwife right now, and Elyona, I say push. It needs to happen here because right now, your economy is more powerful. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that Louis builds up a reserve. And if you are talking about best of the best that both sides can push, hand cannoneers might seem incredible. I am not going to bank against Arbitrary with Valorous Inspiration. These units, with Crossbow Stirrups and Inspiration, they attack quicker than archers. And considering the damage is at, what, 15, and they aren't even elite status yet. They're basically like, what, half the damage of a hand cannoneer, but double the attack speed in that moment. It's a winner. What are you saying? Against ranged Arbitrary quite a lot worse? No. No, because it's currently at 18 damage. It's about to go up to, I think it's 22. And then with the Crossbow Stirrups plus the Valorous Inspiration, you just attack so quickly, your DPS is comparative to hand cannoneers. Because remember, hand cannoneers take 2.12 seconds. Here you go. Yeah, look at that. 22 damage. Then you add in Pavis, and you have the extra range, right? So they have to come to you. Mass Arbitrary for Joan has proven to be a disgusting comp in the late game. In fact, this Civ right here, like, she may not rate highly on people's Civ list right now, but the idea of the late game with this unit comp, just Arbitrary basically, is enough to warrant a lot of pros right now calling for Arbitrary to get nerfed. And here it comes. Step 1 of the plan. Stirrups. 1 minute and 5 seconds out. Ayyubid, you cheeky git. He's going trade. Oh my god, how many? None so far. They're prepped for it. They just need some things to die. Little rack space being built up over here. Center army is pushing in the meantime, and Ayyubid looks like he's wrapping on the flank with the horsemen. Problem is, there's a castle over here with an Obelisk placement. You're just not going to do enough damage here. You can kill maybe, I'd say, about 10 villagers. The rest should survive. Not even that. Diving in the main in the meantime. Still no Valorous Inspiration from Loom. I'm a little bit surprised by this. This ability has been underused in this game. I don't think it's actually popped up once the entire time. Frontline's already dead, though. Mamluk's Bravery is definitely buffing him up, but no gunpowder tech is a big problem here. Trebs are going to be sniped out. Bombards continue to just blunt through the base. And these men-at-arms, I mean, without elite army tactics, they are doing a lot of work. I'm impressed. I can't believe this. Valorous Inspiration just rinsed him there, guys. That was the attack speed buffer on the men-at-arms and the Arbitrier. He just mopped up the front line. Second wave is coming in, though, and Ayyubid is stabbing on the flank. So I think Louis needs to slow down a bit. He needs to get mass together himself. Because now you have this big gap. 40 seconds until the attack speed buff again. You cannot fight without this. Rams in the meantime shuffling around, though. He's looking to shut down the trade before it even really begins in this game. Keep on the high ground as well. Come on. You come on. What is that trade route? The size of Louis' brain right now? I need to put him in a jar. The size of Goldfish's one here. Like, this is absurd. Look at where the neutral trade post is. It makes sense, right? There's nothing you can do but walk here. So this keep drop is blocking trade. Now, if Louis can just get the military count up, Ayyubid's in trouble. But he needs to get that military count up. Bombard now moving up. I mean, Joan can snipe that out, though. Like, this is not going to work. I mean, funnily enough, he could have went in with the Divine Blast at any point. Didn't bother. You are now diving a castle that has an Obelisk in placement. This does hurt. Joan frontlining quite a bit here. Ayyubid, the problem is I'm looking at this military count, and I'm wondering where it is right now. He's got a little bit on the flank, but it just feels like it's not all being brought to bear. I mean, the hand cannon count is good, but I have this bad feeling that when I look at the guild hall, my jaw's going to drop. Yep, that was the jaw hitting the ground. Okay, 5,500 gold in reserve. Food income is actually bearable here. With consecrations, you can now just afford a non-stop pump, right? The men-at-arms are getting a pretty lofty discount of 25 food per. That means if you're non-stop producing men-at-arms, you're saving, what, of this cluster alone, 4 of them done, you're saving about 300 food a minute. Almost. And yes, Louis is winning, having a disadvantage in both at the moment. And I don't, like, everyone's going to be like, Joan's OP. I actually think a big part of this is on Louis, but also on Ayyubid. I think they misplayed that aggro point when they dove the base. If they'd been a bit slower, if they'd actually gone for Rams on the second and third attack instead, I actually think they would have won this game. Ayyubid missed the window, though, and Louis took full advantage of it. Ram still just drawing a little bit of attention. Army mass is now even, and this is where they could not be further apart. Chemistry is at least going to bring them closer again. There's a lot of hand cannoneers, but the thing that always worries me here is these Arbitrier. You saw the impact in the last fight when he activated Valorous Inspiration with men-at-arms and Arbitrier. He destroyed the Ayyubid defense line. The only reason they survived that is the reserved eco and the production behind it. But that was from a position where you're ahead. Now, they're relatively even. It's about to get worse. Louis, I mean, he's basically popped, right? So Military Academy coming in means he can now start to bulk reserves for the next wave, and the next wave, and the next wave. production being sniped. Actually a big deal here considering the golden ages, right? Like if you can deactivate age 4, it's a big deal because your opponent can't play siege. Can't believe the value's been getting out these free cannons. Attack coming in, Valorous Inspiration gets activated, and here you go. Look at these men at arms. Down to 1 attack speed. The Arbitrary down to 1.37 seconds for an attack. Enough to start sniping down pretty much everything around you. Second wave of hand cannon is going to come in. The Horseman to front line as well. And Louis, where are the troops right now? Well, here they come. Second wave is in. This time the Spearman. Hand cannoneer count is looking scary, though. Louis, this is turning into quite the meat grinder. He's not using all the consecrations either. But once you get out of range like this, the Pavis, it's where they can start to win out. You just need this meat to throw at the front line. That's when you can start sniping hand cannoneers. And remember, guys, gold is now becoming a critical issue for Alyona. Look at the state of the map. The gold up here is being denied. All of the marketplaces got taken out. Where does he get gold? He's got a 4K here. But for hand cannoneer mass, that's not a lot, right? Like for a unit that costs 120 gold each. The way that this game's going, I need Alyona to make some serious traction in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Because otherwise, I'm looking at that guild hall and I'm seeing 7.2k gold sitting there, waiting for Papa to break back. A lot of wood was taken away from Alyona's side of the map as well, right? I don't think that will matter in this game. I feel like it should be over before the wood is all gone. But this is getting wild. And yes, I'm saying age 4 here you could lose, right? When you're getting blitzed in the buildings, that's why he reboomed. When he's getting hit in the front buildings, I think he's down to like 54 structures at one point. So, yeah, sorry, age 4 would have been lost. Yes. Age 5 shouldn't matter because you shouldn't really be doing camels at this stage. I think they need to change age 5 in some way. Just no one really builds camels. Louis, we're switching up. Oh my god. Remember what I said about the gold state? If Louis baits a big engagement and then reveals his mangonels, he could just flatline Alyona. Alyona has almost 30 hand cannoneers. Louis is looking to go 4 mangonels. He's going to reveal them early. And if you're wondering, well, I mean, Alyona just builds a culverin, right? You can't, because of Joan. Joan will snipe it. She'll walk in, Divine Blast it, it's gone. So now, Alyona has a much bigger problem with these main fights. Before, he was just winning the meat grinder. Now the mangoes make it difficult. Culverins will snipe Joan instead. That's a quick way to lose the game. I like where your head's at, Sassy. Unfortunately, Culverins do range damage. Actually, if you want to kill Joan, it's quicker to use bombards, right? Culverins don't do siege. They do ranged. So the range reduction works. Where is it? Boom, right there. Culverins get bonus damage, but bombards are still better. Bombards kill it quicker. Unless they've changed something since I last saw this scenario like 3 months ago. I literally have watched this scenario before and it's baffling. Bombards kill her quicker. Because bombards do siege damage and culverins do ranged, and your bonus damage gets reduced as well by 60%. 60%, not 50%. She's level 4, remember. Show us some respect. Oh, he's aped into the fight again. Keeps her crawling in. What is going on now from Louis? I think the food is just too weak now. I can't believe this, man. Alyona, this is the thing. Louis' idea was great if he could force the main fight, but look at what Alyona's done across the map. He's everywhere, and part of that is Louis' fault, right? Because he's splitting everything up everywhere. He's so focused on raiding, he's not realizing that there's an imminent threat down the center. Wild game. I can't believe this is still going. If you told me 35 minutes ago that this game would be close to an hour long, I would not have believed you. It looked over. Rams, that building's on your side. Joan goes down. Rip Pass will defend him here, right? Like, Elyon needs to reset, but Louis has a big problem. He pulled out the gold, so he's got a decent chunk to deal with, to work with here. But I'm wondering, I'm gonna say something wild here. Why not hand cannoneers? I don't think I've seen a single Joan player try and do hand cannoneers, and I'm not sure why. With this type of gold reserve, right? It feels like a no-brainer, but I guess the fact that Elyon is going mass spears now actually is going to legitimize Arbitraire. Because Arbitrare's Gambesons makes them insanely tanky, right? Arbs is so much better in some ways, right? Like, but like the whole idea of hand cannons isn't terrible when you consider you get them for the price of Streltsy. Now, something to keep in mind is gold is now scarce for both players. Ha 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 ha! I don't need to love Joan. It's already got 1,000 in it again. No, gold is scarce for one player in this game. Because Trey got blocked out. I can't believe how annoying Louis is. Like, these little proxy bases have to be so tilting for Elyona. Look at the military lead, yet they can't do anything with it. Because the red palace in the center, right? Like, cliffside is very obnoxious with these type of cliffs. So you're kind of handcuffed in how you can get into the enemy base. And everywhere you aren't, Louis is. This is getting wild. Losing Joan's really expensive? Yeah, but it doesn't matter if your opponent's not diving your base. You don't care. Wait, what did I say this was? Yeah, Lipany. Did I say it was someone else? Sorry. No, Cliffside, good map. I mean, this has got cliffs like Cliffside, that's for sure. Good lord. Farm's now being migrated. Elyona, it's not a crazy amount of food in reserve. It's getting idle here does hurt, and here we go, guys. The last gold Elyona will ever see. Unless they queue into Louis 20 more times, in which case they'll be seeing gold all around them when they get D-ranked. But outside that, the last gold they're going to see in this game. Make it last, son. Arms now moving in. You know what's wild, guys? Louis only just got elite army tactics. Oh my god, Louis! Look at Elyona's economy! 79. 10 off the good number. Just gotta lose a few more. Meanwhile, Joan on the wall. Get out of my cast! Oh. Elyona's in desperate mode. Like, this is really desperate what he's about to do. Diving the red pass is dangerous. You've only got, what, 25 torches? You can't do it. You have to leave. Oh my god. You know, you'd think someone who lives in France would historically know how dangerous it is, the idea of just going around. But considering it almost got the win before, he doesn't seem to find the way there anymore. I cannot believe this. Louis MT with one of the most insane turnarounds I have ever seen out of Jeanne D'Arc. There is a reason that this guy is the beast from the east. There is a reason that this guy is the undeniable king of Jeanne D'Arc right now. And he just proved it.